Hello, beta. Good evening, everyone. So yesterday, if you know, we started by writing some important pointers for your CUET entrance exam. जैसे कि मैंने आपको पहले भी बताया था कि ये किसी भी सीक्वेंस में नहीं है बेटा, ये जितने भी आज तक किसी भी MA इकोनॉमिक्स एंट्रेंस एग्जाम में JNU, CUET, BHU एक्सेट्रा जो भी एंट्रेंस एग्जाम्स हैं, जो भी CUET के अंडर अब आ गए हैं, उनके अंडर जो भी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंटर्स हैं, जो क्वेश्चंस बन सकते हैं, उनके जो समराइज्ड वर्जन है वो हम इनमें लिख रहे हैं. सो वी आर राइटिंग डाउन all important pointers related to what has been asked in any entrance exam. They are not in any sequence. Sequence में नहीं है मतलब कि they can be from micro, macro, etc. But they are important notes that I have combined. As I mentioned to you, beta, these are 320 pages of notes that I have combined. और कल हमने इसका page 1 discuss किया था. We had discussed page 1 of this. And I'm sure that इसमें से कोई ना कोई क्वेश्चन जो ये हमारे पेजेस हैं इनमें से कोई ना कोई क्वेश्चन will definitely come in the exam. So for students who have enrolled with us, I'm going to give you all 320 pages on your portal. They will be available to you. But for others also, we are just taking this initiative to write some points. So the first page we had covered yesterday, and today beta we aim to complete the next page. So please start writing with me. These are very important points. इनमें से कोई ना कोई question will definitely come in the CUET entrance exam. So we talked about the classical economist, and we talked about what seigniorage is, right? And today we are going to go ahead and continue with what we had already written. So please start writing with me. So I think we have not mentioned about the economic theory yet. Yes. Okay. So please write the economic theory and operation analysis. ऐसे ना match the following में आ जाता है कि ये theory किसने दी, वो theory किसने दी. So it does come in the match the following. So the economic theory and operational analysis, this is given by W.J. Bauman. Right? And the principles of political economy. That is given by J.S. Mill. Okay. Then we talked about capability approach yesterday. We talked about Chamberlain. We talked about seigniorage. And post-seigniorage, today we want to talk about some more things here. So please write down, beta, that the augmented Phillips curve that is associated with Friedman. Okay, this was given by Friedman. Now, now some questions, if you look at the entrance exam syllabus, will be from वहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है role of RBI and commercial banks, and वहाँ पे ये भी लिखा हुआ है money and banking. ठीक है जी, तो कुछ questions RBI से भी आ सकते हैं. So I just want to highlight some important point there also in between. एक important point ये है that RBI adopted consumer price index as a measure of inflation, and this was on the basis of recommendation. This will come in exam, beta. Who recommended to adopt consumer price index as a measure of inflation? So this is on the basis of recommendation of Urjit R. Patel Committee. Okay. Now, there is a beautiful statement. Again, as I told you that sometimes they will give you a statement and they will ask you who said this statement or what is the meaning of this statement. ऐसा कुछ भी exam में आ जाता है. So you know, there is this statement which says individual rationality leads to collective irrationality. And ऐसा कुछ बोल देंगे वो कि okay, which phenomena is associated with this statement? Individual rationality leads to collective irrationality. अब आपको लगेगा यार ये तो कहीं नहीं देखा, but this is something you have studied बेटा. This is related to tragedy of commons. What is tragedy of common? जब सब लोग over utilize कर देते, जैसे for example the grazing example that we used to see, when everyone starts over utilizing the land, that is when you will see that everybody, although is acting rationally themselves, but overall economy में there is a negative externality and over usage of the land, है ना? तो यही तो tragedy of common है, right? Okay. Then, so as I told you, they're not in any sequence, but ये सारी चीजें बहुत important है exam point of view के लिए. So the next thing important is that money that is not intrinsically useful. So again, ये एक definition है that is not intrinsically useful and valued only because it is used as money is called. So the money जिसकी कोई intrinsic value नहीं होती, like the money that we are using, right? The notes, it does not have any intrinsic value to it, right? मतलब gold तो नहीं है ना, उसकी कोई अपने आप में value नहीं है. So that money which does not have any intrinsic value and is only useful because the government declared it as money, that is called beta fiat money, right? Then another definition that I want to raise today beta is stagflation. Stagnation means rising unemployment plus inflation. That is called stagflation. Acha, this is against the Phillips law. So if you notice, the Phillips law beta suggests an inverse relationship between inflation and unemployment. But I'm saying that inflation is also increasing and unemployment is also increasing. Then that's stagflation, right? Then another kind of questions that come in exam is based on lending. ठीक है, क्योंकि banking sector एक syllabus में part है, तो lending से related कुछ भी पूछ सकते हैं. So if they ask you something like this, if they ask you which term is applied on loans made to borrowers who don't have a good credit history, तो अगर मैं उन लोगों को लोन दे रही हूं जिनकी अच्छी क्रेडिट हिस्ट्री नहीं है, then what is that called? So beta, that term is called subprime lending. Believe me, all these kind of questions can come. ऐसे ही questions आते हैं CUET के पेपर में. So subprime lending is when it's a term which is applied to loans which is made to borrowers who do not have a good credit history, right? Then another question that comes in exam is about the Gini's ratio. ठीक है, Gini's index. So if you remember beta, Gini's index this is for inequality, है ना? But ये तो एक क्वेश्चन हो गया. But you know, who addressed this problem of oversensitivity of Gini's index to change in middle of distribution. So if you know, Gini's index is very oversensitive whenever there are changes in the middle of the distribution, and it is insensitive to changes at top and bottom. अगर याद हो तो Gini's index is something like this, है ना? ये line of equality है. And then we find how much the ratio of the area of the two things, the area of this, how much inequality exists divided by the area of this. यही तो Gini's index है. So that is more sensitive in the middle and less sensitive here and here. So who addressed this problem that it is more sensitive in the middle and less sensitive at top and bottom? It was addressed by Palmer ratio. बस इतना ही याद रखना, it was addressed by Palmer ratio, double DR. Addressed by Palmer ratio. Okay. Then one last thing that I'm left to do in this page, second page, is about the life cycle hypothesis beta. So life cycle hypothesis, it basically says that consumption, it depends on income, lifetime income, but it also includes wealth in it. So if you look into the book, you will notice that in life cycle hypothesis, वो कुछ initial wealth भी assume करते हैं, right? And one last thing that, sorry, here is this. So when you talk about the linear regression model, it asks whether it is linear in parameter or variable. So linear regression model में जो linearity है means linearity in parameter. So we have covered 2 pages of our notes beta. The second page that I talked about today had some important points, and these are very, very important from your entrance exam point of view. कहीं ना कहीं ये बहुत ज़्यादा काम आएंगे आपको. So it's a good idea to write these points down and revise them. Tomorrow I will talk in the next page, as I can see, we will talk about Lewis, Calder, Verdum. We'll talk about some more things, and we will also make a note of those. Okay? Best of luck for your exam.